It's Christmas Day, and I'm out here doing my traditional Christmas Day hike in the woods, and it couldn't be a better day for it here in beautiful Santa Cruz, California. You can probably hear the traffic in the background. That's because I'm just probably a few hundred yards from a main street, which is one of the really cool things about Santa Cruz County. There are just a lot of great woods that are really accessible. And it's been raining here lately the past few days, but today it's not raining, and it's just a perfect day to get out. Look at mushrooms and see what's popping. Here's a very famous mushroom, Amanita muscaria. It's probably the most recognizable mushrooms that you'll see anywhere. These have medicinal qualities that I don't delve into. This is a little bit outside of my scope of mushroom medicines. I'm more into the edible mushrooms that just have some health benefits. But wherever you see these popping, it's a good sign. A lot of other mushrooms will be growing in this same sort of environment. So I like to look for porcinis. Porcinis will grow alongside of these oftentimes. So like I say, it's a great sign. I'm seeing that over here we've got some chanterelles popping, and it's pretty unusual for me to find them actually this visible. Usually I have to really hunt for them and dig around a little bit, but these are right at the surface. And look, there's a couple of them right here. Maybe there's a few. I'll have to poke around. Look, I see another little bit of a chanterelle right there. Looks like there's another one right there. Oh man, I think I've stumbled onto a pretty good patch. This is kind of unusual for me. I don't usually find more than like one or two in a given spot. Normally what you'll see is just kind of the edge popping up. This is a nice young one. Good specimen though. This other one right here seems to be about the same. Very nice. This one's a bit bigger. Get down to the base of it. Yeah. There it is. There's another one right there. Let's see what we've got here. A lot of times these will grow down underneath the roots of the trees, and they'll get kind of trapped down there, and it can be a little bit challenging to get to. This is actually a couple of mushrooms, it looks like. Yep. It's actually three. This third one does not look very fresh. But the other two look pretty good. This one's a little bit past due. That one is still in good shape. That one, nah. This one's about half good. I could probably salvage half of this mushroom. But I'm gonna poke around right here and see how many more of these I can find. I'll keep you posted. Merry Christmas. Looks like I found another chanterelle right here. The color is just stunning. I hunted for mushrooms for a couple of years before I ever found my first chanterelle. Once I found one, then I had a totally different perspective on how to look for them. A lot of times just one little part of the mushroom will be showing. They're growing up from under these leaves. They don't grow on wood. They grow under oak trees here in Santa Cruz. And a lot of times they're hidden under the leaves. They'll grow under vines, a lot of times like under poison oak. But the color is just beautiful. They call these California golden chanterelles for obvious reasons. Stunning. These are some of the best tasting mushrooms I've ever had. I've had a lot, but I just absolutely love these. Just saute these up in a little butter, a little garlic maybe. We like to cook them up and eat them on like toast. A little cheese, maybe a little boursin. Yeah, they're good. Christmas chanterelles. Looks like there's a little slug right there enjoying some of the chanterelle right now. They like mushrooms too. Here's a beautiful mushroom. It's a kakura. Vernicacura, I suppose. It's these grow in the spring and in the fall. So the spring ones are called kakura, and the fall ones are called vernicacura. So just because that means fall. Of course, it's the dead of winter. So I'm supposing this is not a spring one. It's probably a fall one. These are good to eat, but they're not for beginners. This is Amanita mushroom, and some of the most deadly mushrooms on the planet are in this family. So yeah, this is not one for beginners, but it is a beautiful mushroom, as you can see. Underneath there a little bit, you can kind of see there's a cup on the vulva, and this kind of cap, skull cap on top. And this is part of the universal veil. So when these are babies, they're in an egg shape. And when they break out of their egg, they some of that material is left on top. Some of it becomes that cup on the vulva. And I'm not going to disturb this one just because. Look at this one popping up out of the pine needles. That's interesting. I'm going to take my knife, just kind of poke underneath it, dislodge it. Gorgeous. Here's half of it. Again, a lot of times it's under like roots like that. So sometimes you take a little digging to get to. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of coming out in pieces, but every piece is delicious. I've got these little sandwich bag size paper bags, and then I'll put as many mushrooms as I can get into one of those, like this, and then I'm carrying them in a larger grocery bag. Good way to reuse these paper grocery bags if you have them. And another cool thing is that if I find any trash laying around, I can just throw it in there, kind of clean up the woods whenever I get a chance. This spot's pretty clean, but you know, most areas have some garbage around, so. Found a pretty nice outgrowth of these honey mushrooms. They grow in big bunches. These are old and way past being good to eat, but honey mushrooms are good to eat when they're nice and young and small. They typically fruit in the fall, so it's pretty late in the year. But there are a bunch of them here. They grow on dead trees or trees that are soon to be dead. Sometimes they'll just be growing on an old root. A bunch more of these fly agarics. I'll pull this one, take a look at it. That's a beautiful young specimen right there. See, there are several of them here. Different stages of growth. Some quite old, like this one. And some quite young, like that one. Another mushroom in the Amanita family. These are not poisonous per se, but they're psychoactive. Some people claim that there's good medicine in these. Do some research, find out.